Hi guys, welcome back to Fiber Laser Training. I wanted to do a quick video on focus, how to find focus. I get a question a lot. There's plenty of good videos on it, but figured I'd do one anyway, just because we all got a little different take on things. So finding your lens's focus is very important. Your lens has a very specific distance in which the focus is achieved. Now, on some lenses, you'll see that it has an F equals and there'll be a nominal number beside of it. If you have a 110 millimeter lens, it'll say, F equals 163 or something of that nature, which means that your nominal focal length would be 163 millimeters. But if you revert back to our tolerances video in which that we've done, then we know that there's a 10% approximate tolerance band there. So you could be 16.3 millimeters above or below that 163 millimeter nominal focal distance. So to find that focus is pretty simple. To keep the focus is pretty simple, but I'm going to tell you how to do it. So let's get to it. So what you want to do, obviously if you're setting up a new lens, you need to go down here into the F3 parameters and tell the guy what size lens you're using. You'll need to save a new folder, but we can do that later. But I'm working on a 175 millimeter lens here. So I've picked up one of these little mini bartender keys that I carry, and it's just stainless. Now you want something that's going to throw sparks when you do this. You don't want to do it on aluminum or brass or copper or anything. It's just you want to do it on carbon steel or stainless steel or something that you're actually going to see and hear. That's a very important portion of this guy. You hear what I've done is I've created a square or a box, rectangle, whatever you want to call it. We'll make it nice and even for all those folks at home with the OCD. Like, oh gosh. So once again, we'll just hit our C button if we want to center it. There we go. And we don't worry about power and speed at this moment, but I usually hatch this at a 0.01. And we do it with the uninterrupted hatch. That's the all blue one here. Means that the laser would never turn off. That's the optimal situation that we want here. So just turn that one on at 0.01 and hit OK or apply. And these settings are all right, actually. 1,000. You could probably drop this down if you wanted to see more sparks. And I'd usually put it on continuous. Now, a couple of things to remember here. You want it on continuous because you're not gonna be able to do this on one pass. At a 0.01 line space, you might be able to. The more you do it, the easier obviously that would be to achieve. But I usually start low in focus. Now I already know the focal point of this lens is this stick that I already have cut, but that's not the point. So we are going to start low. I don't want to go too low just for educational sake. And I turn my red light on, and you may or not be able to see it here, but I turn my red light on to get some good suction going on here. Once I've lined it up here, I'm going to hit go after we put our safety glasses on. And when I hit go, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start raising this gantry up, or the tower. And what we're looking for is we're looking for the most amount of sparks and the loudest noise. So you will physically be able to hear it emitting a sound, and when it's screaming the loudest you can hear it, that should be pretty close in conjunction with the most amount of sparks being thrown off of the surface. And when you get there, then you are pretty much in your perfect focal point. Now, depending on your lens, the larger the lens, the more forgiveness you have up or down for that focal point. So, you know, being that, let's just say that your focus was right here on a smaller lens, you only have a very, very short band of being in focus. The larger the lens working area goes, then you increase that depth of focus. That's why they're more forgiving on curved surfaces and that nature. But we'll just hit go. And I don't expect anything really to happen except for it's giving me, I can see it marking. And so now, if you can see it getting brighter and brighter and brighter as I'm raising up, and then it's not bright anymore. So I'm going to go down. So right about there, I would say, is going to be my perfect focus point on this, because it's throwing the most sparks, and I can hear, you probably can't hear it over all the fans and whatnot, but it's throwing the most sparks right there, and it's the loudest right about there. So we can stop it and see how close we are with the stick that I already have. And would you look at that? No, I mean, for my stick, I got to raise it up like that much. That was the difference in what I already did opposed to what I've been doing forever. So it is a yardstick, yes, but I've got it cut at the 10-inch mark. So it's not a unit of measurement anymore other than this. And you can use just about anything. You can use a yardstick, you can use a paint stick, you could use a piece of PVC pipe, you could use just about anything that is rigid and won't, change shape on its own. My friend Patrick, actually, if I can grab a hold of these, I just now remembered I have a few of these. Our friend Patrick over at Light Source Engraving, he sells a focal stick kit. Cool little kits, 3D printed. Comes with all these little guys here. Now a lot of folks, they use, I don't know, I have to open that one. Like this one is like the topper piece. And they'll use this here near the lens. And I'm pretty adamantly opposed about putting this anywhere near the lens. That's why I measure to up here at the top of the galvo. And it doesn't matter where you measure to, as long as you always measure to that point from whatever it is. And the purpose of the focus stick is great. I mean, we just marked this, we're in perfect focus for it. And then, let's just say somebody brings, this box in here. Say, hey, can you mark this box? I'm like, sure we can. All we do is we're gonna mark the box right here on the top. We sit this guy here. And it sounds like that bad boy needs a little bit of grease. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky. And we're gonna move it up until it just slips right under there. I don't know if y'all guys seen that, but it just boop, slipped. And now I'm in focus to the top of this box. And whoever has the box, they leave and come back with something else. This guy right here, boom, put it on there. Yeah, we can mark that too. Just gotta lower it down into focus. So in a nutshell, that's what your focal stick is for. Like I said, I stay away from the lens just to, make sure we don't take a risk of scratching that bad boy. And that's why I always use wood or plastic also. When you get your laser, they usually send you a big long ruler, and sometimes you'll have stickers and lines on the side of your galvo head that'll say, this is your focal point. And they're generally pretty close. I mean, they try to do the same thing we did here, but they don't care about it quite as much as you do. So I hope you learned a little bit here about focus. You always got to stay in focus. And hopefully you've been able to see me this whole time, because this camera, I think, inevitably came in focus. So y'all hit that like button for the algorithm. We love it. Subscribe, tell all your friends about it. And we actually, here at the store at the Blank Bank, we dropped all of our coin prices for brass and copper and stuff like that to like $3.50 a coin. So I believe you can't get them anywhere on the planet cheaper than that for the quality that we supply. So, it's my favorite time, but I don't got nobody to tell dad jokes to, so I'm sad. But we'll figure it out.